This is The Breakfast Stable.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to The Breakfast Stable. Once again, my name is Jack Muller, and it's a very happy Mother's Day edition of our show, The Breakfast Stable. And so I'm so happy to be joined by other beautiful mums, and of course, that I know in my life, the gorgeous Catherine Sabazio. Happy Mother's Day, honey, and also, isn't it a happy anniversary for us?
Happy Mother's Day and happy anniversary to The Breakfast Stable, yes!
Yay! No, happy anniversary to us. Hard to believe it's been a year since we since someone made the bad mistake of turning the mics on.
It's been a wonderful year. It's been great.
Yeah, and happy Mother's Day to you too. Well, Pete, I'm going to say happy Mother's Day to you. You will happy, I suppose, pseudo. Well, you've got Cooper, your beautiful dog.
Oh yeah, and I'm his mother, and I am his mother. Odie Cologne, mate. I tell you what, I've got three beauties in front of me. Well, not really. There's one there, and there.
Yes.
Happy Mother's Day, ladies, and happy first anniversary.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks,
and
Kate.
Also to you too, Helen. Happy Mother's Day to you too, darling. Hope you've been looked after.
I am. Happy Mother's Day to you ladies and to Pete and Vic. I have to say I'm loving this weekend because we've just had a sunny break, and
Sunny break. Yesterday was pouring.
Yes, I know, but we're having little sunny patches. And my kids are going to spoil me. Well, I'm spoiling them because they're coming over for lunch today for Mother's Day, so I'm very excited.
Yes.
But I just needed to say something. Thank you to everyone who has downloaded the COVID Safe app. And I'd say the marketing and advertising has really worked because 5 million people have downloaded the app within 3 days. So I want to know who that marketing guru that designed and developed and told everybody if they didn't download the app, there'd be no parties. So
yes. Well, we know the advertising industry works. Let's be honest. It's formed based on the back of parties. You would know that, Helen.
Oh, totally. It reminded me of the school days, when the teachers said that if you finished your work, you could go out and play. Playtime. Whereas, even though the app's not compulsory, I think even the most stubborn are quickly downloading it because it'll be shameful if they didn't, I think when people come over now, I'll be going, now hang on a minute. Are you feeling feverish or anything? Oh, and have you downloaded the Corona Safe, the COVID Safe app? So, okay, you can come into my house now.
Yes.
Well, isn't it? That's one of the criteria. They're actually going to be, if the people don't have the app downloaded, they're actually going to be taking down details for people when they do eventually start opening up bars and clubs and restaurants.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's going to be.
Exactly.
Well, there's nothing like the fear of dying or the fear of a pandemic to make people, motivated to download an app.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, not everyone. Not everyone's worried about it.
No, not everyone. But, we are looking as if we are going to come out of this. It's great to see. I think everyone's been quite buoyed by the plan that ScoMo released on Friday, that Cabinet have sort of agreed to, how that time frame will look now over the next few months and what we can expect. So I think just knowing that there is a plan in place and we can start to hopefully get our lives back will be, a fantastic thing. But so it started me thinking about, what is it about being a nicer that we're actually going to miss? Because there's probably aspects of all this that we've actually have enjoyed.
Nothing.
Helen Reiser, you have enjoyed not wearing a bra. We know this.
And staying in your pajamas until 2 p.m.
Yeah, okay, all right, I'm with you. And no makeup, and don't care what the hair looks like if I'm not on Zoom that day.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't worn jocks for weeks now.
Oh, God.
Too much information.
Your boxer shorts, which I call happy pants, for months now.
I think the lack of judgment over the amount of alcohol I've been drinking has also been quite nice. Like not being out in public where anyone might say, oh, gee, I think she's had a bit too much. We've had none of that. So I've enjoyed that, the lack of judgment around my alcohol consumption, and also probably not spending all the money on Ubers. it's probably been a good thing. Apart from the Uber I'm sending to the bottle shop to go and get me some more drink and then bring it back.
Oh my God.
Well,
So-
I've got to say mine's probably the opposite, Jack. I've just been loving, like, having more time to focus on my health and well-being. I've been walking more. I actually went out yesterday with my gorgeous girlfriend, Sandra. We got caught in the torrential rain,
Yes.
but it was a lot of fun. It was great. And just having that quiet time and time to actually be creative and get down to the core of what your business is about. I've loved it. Absolutely loved doing that. Loved all the cooking, loved being home.
Yes.
I'm still going into the warehouse, but being able to work from home if I choose to, it's just been lovely. So I'm going to miss that. No excuse to stay home.
Yeah, and the lack of traffic on the road has been great too.
Oh, it's been
takes
amazing.
literally 15 minutes to get from
amazing.
one end of Melbourne to the other, which has been a blessing.
Although I went out in the car yesterday to pick up some food, and I'm like, where did all these cars come from? All of a sudden, you know, actually, sorry, it was Friday. I was out on the road because it was such a beautiful day. Everyone was out. The streets were full of people. I'm like, where did all these people and cars come from?
I've got to admit on that one, I sent them all out after you because I knew you were going out, and I had to do it.
It was ridiculous, you know.
I think there's definitely a sense of people sort of feeling that this is coming to the next stage, that we're going to be starting to sort of open up a little bit. And I think before the May 11th, which is tomorrow, announcements, people are already kind of taking it upon themselves to get out a little bit more, because I've noticed that too, Helen.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Busier, definitely busier.
It'll be interesting to see how this afternoon the traffic out on the road with, you know, bunches of flowers and balloons in the back seats of cars that are going to be dropped off at mum's houses this afternoon, because I think that's
Look,
the.
I think from the economy perspective, it's going to be a long road out, a hell of a long road. You know, just going down to the markets, for example, and they've actually now, you have to queue up just to get into the market, into South Melbourne market. So these will continue for months and months and months. Just don't forget, until they actually get a vaccine, a lot of things will not happen whatsoever.
Yeah, we've got to be careful not to go too silly too soon.
Although Prahran Market was pretty crowded yesterday, and you know, being a Saturday, I guess, but it was you know, loads of people, and you know, not so social distancing. You know,
this is the thing. I think people are kind of already taking it upon themselves just to get out that little bit more and do things that maybe they wouldn't have a week or two ago.
Nice.
Despite that the announcement's coming out tomorrow. So
yeah. Well, we certainly look forward to it, and there's definitely one thing I do look forward to, and is that giving you all a massive big hug.
Oh my God, I've so missed the hugs.
I missed the hug.
I don't know if anyone saw my little story on Instagram the other day, where I wanted something sweet and then I wanted something savoury, and I ended up making caramel popcorn, and I've never made it in my life. But I realised, and actually on my little post I said that what I really wanted was big hug. And that's true, because actually my mother used to make caramel popcorn for us when we were little. So I think it was just that wanting that, you know, sort of wholesome connection and something, and it reminded me of Mum and I made caramel popcorn. But I think we're all missing that physical touch and that connection, aren't we, guys?
Yes.
Well, I'm definitely, hopefully, going to do a bit of a drive-by, at least, so I can say hi to my beautiful mum, Mary, who's just the best mum in the world, and she's a mum to a lot of people, and she's just, you know, gives off the best hugs. So I know that once she's allowed to start hugging again, it's going to be a case of everyone watch out. So she'll be on a mass hugging spree. But happy Mother's Day. What day of the week is it again? Anyways, getting on with the show this morning, Catherine. How is everything going apart from caramel popcorn and walking? Yeah,
look, I guess, you know, with the way that things have changed, I said last week that we've been doing quite a lot of media at Aroma Baby, and in fact some of you guys might have seen Helen and myself in The Age last Sunday, which was so much fun. But the idea of that sort of thing is actually putting some focus onto your brand and your business and trying to stay relevant. And I did some more things this week as well, which is great. But I guess talking about things like I've been, you know, doing at home, I've been making up face masks and pampering myself a little bit that I haven't made time for in the previous, you know, probably the last few years, which is terrible. And I've been playing around with our website with a graphic person, and we're adding more things onto our blog about recipes for face masks and body scrubs and pampering yourself and self-care, which is great. So I guess what I want to encourage everyone today to do is, if you are a mum, or if you know a mum, or if you're living with a woman that you love, maybe think about some easy ways it could actually give her some self-care tips or pamper her. And what I've got here is some beautiful organic herbal tea. So you don't actually need to have anything special. You can get some tea bags, chamomile tea, peppermint tea. You can make up a little bag of them in an organza bag, or in the toe of an old pair of pantyhose or something like that. And you actually use that into some hot boiling water or into the bath, and all those beautiful beneficial oils come out and go into the water. So that's really, really lovely. And it's something that's easy to do.
I was just about to say, please don't tell me that if you're putting tea leaves into an old pair of pantyhose, that then you have to drink it.
No, Jack.
Yeah,
no.
I've got a pair of old pantyhose at home anyway.
We're talking about spa care, self-care here. Yeah. And the other thing I did the other day was mixed up a beautiful, beautiful face mask. So I used some organic honey and some oatmeal. So if you don't have oatmeal and you've got some, say, almonds in the house, you can just put them in the coffee grinder or the blender or something, and just put like a handful of almonds and ground them up into a meal. And then you add like a teaspoon of the almond meal with a teaspoon of some organic raw honey, mix it up, pop it on your face. And this is for like anybody who wants to have, you know, like a little bit of downtime. But these are the sorts of things that you can do at home, and maybe even add 1 drop of essential oil, something like lavender would be easy. So that's what I'm saying. Encourage people to make some space for the mum in your life, or the special woman in your life, and give her a little bit of time to herself to actually focus on taking care of herself. I think that's really important. That's a lovely thing to do for mums on Mother's Day. I love it. Yeah.
I think that's great. And if you've got any oatmeal left, put a little dash of cream in it, warm it up, have some porridge while you've got it on your face.
Oh, exactly. So almond meal or oatmeal. And if I'm not eating food, I'm putting food on my face.
On your face,
I love it.
It's just an excuse to sit there and sort of go like that.
That's right. So, but Pete, you know what to do with oatmeal and almond meal.
Oh, yes, and we have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Catherine. I must say also really quickly too that I think you gave us not that long ago some essential lavender oil.
Yes.
And I've been using that for the girls. They've been having trouble sleeping. Obviously, the kids are, have different anxieties at different times. Yeah. And I've been giving them the drops on the inside of their eye mask that they've been sleeping with, and they've been sleeping so much better, and it's been fantastic. So thank you. It's pleasure. Great stuff. So great tips. Yeah. Thanks, honey.
Pleasure.
Thank you, honey, about the honey mask and the oatmeal. Someone who usually gets food on their face, maybe when they're cooking, I don't know. Your food videos lately, my friend, have gone to a whole nother level, I must say.
Oh, look, I'm having a lot of fun. But it's just, I think what it is, you go through, you put it together, and you try and better every time you do it. And it'll just be like, self-improvement, really. That anything that you do, always strive to be...
Not like our weekly videos, right? They're just going bad to worse.
This is getting worse. Yeah, we're getting worse at this.
Sorry, Pete.
No, that's right. But I mean, put it this way: I'm having a lot of fun doing all the work with Humpty Doo Barramundi. I made spring rolls last week. That's going to go up next week.
Oh, yum!
Yeah, it was absolutely phenomenal. But the Thai green curry I did was outstanding. But I want to talk about yesterday morning. I was down at Clamms Seafoods again. 650 packs we did to the hospitality workers. It was phenomenal. The Melbourne Racing Club were there. They did a big paella for everybody. In Curly was there doing soups. So it was a lot of fun. There's just the vibrancy out there is just phenomenal. The great thing about it is
when the community gets together to do something good, isn't there just such a beautiful spirit and a beautiful positive energy, Pete? Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, it is. And it is absolutely beautiful. And, when we talk about the international community, and especially when it comes to waiters, the front of house staff, the chefs, you know, even to the people that wash the dishes and everything. When you can put everyone together, you've got, the culture is amazing. And this is why we have the best restaurants in the world. And I'm not being biased, but we do in Australia. That being said, I have to say, Jeff Lindsay, Paul Di Martina, the ex Western Bulldog star, Lamaro's Hotel in South Melbourne. Absolutely outstanding. So what they've done is they're showcasing their international chefs during this COVID-19 crisis. It is outstanding, and I love what these guys are doing. So it's just purely takeaway. Basically, they've done a Korean night. Now, it's every Thursday night, Thursday and Friday night. They've done a Korean night. They've done a Thai night. And Friday night was the Vietnamese night. It was absolutely divine. Vicky and I, we had some. We brought it back. We actually ate dinner on the balcony because it was actually a beautiful evening on Friday night. We sat there. It was just outstanding. The curries, the soba noodles, the dark rice paper rolls. It was just beautiful. You come home, you have a sheet of paper with the pictures on, so you can just put it together, jimmy it up. They give you the garnishes as well. So what Jeff and Paul have done down there is nothing but outstanding. For those of you that are vegan out there, next weekend, Thursday and Friday coming up, they've got a vegan menu on there. The weekend after is the one I'm really looking forward to. It's German. They've got a German chef in there. Yeah, bring it on. I'm happy.
You're going to have big sausages and sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut, sausages, bring it on. Yum.
You're going to have to crack out the lederhosen, my friend, and do a bit of a Chevy Chase. European vacation.
Over my head.
But are these chefs that actually normally work at Lamaro's, or they've actually these are chefs that they're actually bringing in to help showcase their talents?
That's correct. And the reason they've been brought in is because these chefs don't have anywhere to work.
So Lamaro's
have,
as well.
Correct. Lamaro's have gone outside the box. They've found out that, you know, some of the best chefs who work in, you know, their homeland restaurants in Melbourne, and they've brought them into Lamaro's. So at least they can actually start to get some money as well. Because don't forget, these guys don't get anything.
Yeah, it's great.
So I think what they're doing, both Jeff Lindsay and Paul Di Martina, you know, my hat's off to them. It is absolutely fantastic. It's just part of the good news world that we actually do live, because there's so many wonderful stories out there.
That's a great one, Pete. Maybe you can put the details up on our Facebook page about that, because I'm sure that there'd be a lot of people that'd be willing to help support that initiative over the next few weeks until these restaurants can start to open up again.
I mean, look, I will, and I mean, not to say, I mean, vegans next week. And, come
on. I'm not a vegan, but I love vegan food.
I don't mind vegan food too.
Don't be judgy.
Was anything wrong?
You fanatic, you.
Thank you so much, Pete. That's a great initiative, and if we can all get on board to help whatever our local restaurants and initiatives are, everyone's doing their bit, I know, to help as much as they can during this time. And someone who loves to help everybody by telling everyone about what everyone is doing, because she's in everyone's business.
You know, the Australian government and, you know, Tourism Australia are doing this massive campaign, you know, and it's called Tourism Australia's Live from Australia. Well, it'll be live from Australia, and it's going to showcase the best of what our country has to offer virtually, and it'll kick off on Friday, the 15th, and it'll start off with a broadcast on Channel 10, I think, on the project. But it'll headline by tourism and entertainment personalities, and it'll be just live broadcasts across social channels and everything. There'll be dance party with the Wiggles and workouts in Byron Bay and crocodile encounters, golfing lessons, and a dinner party with Chef Matt Moran. And, you know, I think, and then it's going to snowball and roll out into, you know, showing off Australia's landscape and, you know, wildlife and our food, of course, and drink, and the Indigenous culture, and art and cultural experiences. So really, actually, I think that's so good, because Australians can't, we won't be able to travel internationally for a while. So, you know, when we can, when things are a little bit, you know, gentler on us, and we're allowed to go out and visit other states, and we can go, you know, we can fly or travel nationally, then that's what they're hoping to be able to achieve, which is a great thing. And we can enjoy our life and have a holiday with our families or children, but also giving back to Australians, which is you know, obviously the whole idea behind it. So kudos to Tourism Australia.
Yes.
And getting back to Mother's Day, because that's what today is, I want to actually thank Melinda Sullivan. We sort of did a little collab on some of the, she's from Melbourne My Style, and she has a great publication and does fun articles, and she did a lovely piece to help the hospitality industry by showing what's on offer across various cafes and restaurants in Melbourne. And the featured cafes and restaurants, I just want to note them because there's such good people, and they're doing Mother's Day packs. So you can still collect stuff this morning. You know, you can head out and or order, phone them, and then go pick up. So Grady Group, Bar Carolina, Reverie by Pierre Boyer, Glazed Gluten Free, Lucky Penny, Entrecôte, Jason Jones, who we love.
I
the
love
Grand Richmond. What was that?
I love Entrecôte.
I were there all the time. Now you're buying from the grocery store. Daughter-in-law and Mrs. Singh, Jessie Singh, roast events by Yum Catering and Tutu Bennett.
Jessie.
And I know that I'll be doing Mother's Day, but I would like to find out what you girls are going to be doing this afternoon after our show. What are you Jack, what are you going to be doing today?
I am going to spend the afternoon with the kids, and I think there's going to be a couple of bottles of champagne that are going to be popped open from about 2-ish onwards.
There's a bit of a theme going on here, Jack.
It's the weekend, I'm allowed to. I'll have all the kids, we'll get all the kids back, but it'll be, I think, a nice, just open sort of platter of yummy, nibbly things, which I love, you know, nice cheeses and dips and bickies and, you know, olives and some nice champagne, and just a nice, really chilled out, relaxed afternoon, I think, is what we'll be aiming for.
Oh, I think. And Catherine?
Yeah.
Well, I've actually, one of my sons has got a girlfriend, which is lovely, and they always sort of help with the things like Mother's Day gifts and surprises for mums. So I've already got a beautiful bunch of flowers. Thank you, Jasmine. And a gorgeous candle, which is just divine. Actually, the aroma is, I think, champagne and strawberries, which is perfect.
There you go.
And I'm just going to have a quiet day with the boys. We've decided not to go to, my mum lives an hour away, so we can't just pop in. So we decided as a family that we wouldn't go, just to keep her safe, and to keep the recommendations that Scott Morrison has given us until tomorrow at least anyway. So we're going to have a quiet family day at home just for a change. But look, you know, as long as I've got the boys around and, you know, family and you know, home cooked meals and, you know, that's my joy. So it's just a quiet, beautiful day, afternoon at home with the boys. Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
And what about you, Helen?
Lovely.
I'm going to have lunch. My kids are coming around for lunch, but both of them have completely different tastes when it comes to food. One's the complete health buff and is like Sergeant Major in my pantry. And the other one loves anything. So I've got to cook 2 different menus because the one that likes anything, he likes anything that's not healthy. So I'm like,
that's really easy, Helen.
Oh God.
Well,
that is really easy. But do something like do a schnitzel parmigiana, right? Do some chips and a salad, right? So you can keep the salad, give that to everybody else, and the chips and the Parmigiana to the other one. Done.
Brandon will love you forever for that tip.
Yeah, I think Lauren will probably want more than a salad though, right?
Oh yes, it's the salad
quinoa.
Yeah,
Put some dalmatis with it. Boost it up with some good feta cheese, olives. You want get the one olive stuffed with anchovies and the chilies. Right, really boost up. Really give it a bit of energy.
You shouldn't be doing any of this, Helen. By the way, shouldn't they be doing all this for you? I'm
just saying.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
It's a mother just does it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. You get so much joy out of doing that, don't you? It's like it's hard to not do it and just be cooked for.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I hope whatever you're doing, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope all the mothers out there do get an opportunity to connect with their families at some stage today, either, drive by or via Zoom, Skype, phone calls. And you have a wonderful day, and all of us, those of us who are lucky to be able to have our kids home with us, we're just blessed, and hopefully this time next year it'll look like a very different Mother's Day again in a really good, positive way. But I think that's our show for today, and again, a big happy first anniversary to us, the Breakfast Stable team. It has been a fun year. I love you guys. We've just had a huge amount of time laughing, and we hope that we're going to be together in person again very, very soon. But to everyone, happy Mother's Day. Everyone stay safe.
Happy Mother's Day to all.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
We will see you next week on the Breakfast Table. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.